Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw, and I'm here at the Travel Leaders Network EDGE Conference, the first live one in 2 years, and I'm here with a very familiar face. We've interviewed him many times over the years, Roger Block, who is the president of Travel Leaders Network. Now we're going to talk to Roger about this event, the state of Travel Leaders Network today, and what the outlook is for the future, and also some of the programs that they've introduced here to help their members really achieve success in the future. And to find out about this and more on Insider Travel Report. First of all, Roger, it's great to see you live. We've actually seen each other at a few other events, but this is your event. This is the biggest one, and it is one of the biggest gatherings of travel advisors this year and probably for the rest of the year. I don't know, there are too many other large ones, but first of all, congratulations on this event, and what's your feeling about it?
Thanks, James, for being here first. This isn't as large as we normally have.
It's pretty big, though. I got to tell you.
No, we topped 1,400, right. But the hotel and the state, even though we're in Florida, put in some restrictions in terms of size. And when we were planning this, we weren't sure how many people we could have at tables of, the rounds and that type of thing. So we had to put some limits on it. But having 1,400 people here was kind of interesting as we were planning. What was the reaction going to be? How are they going to react as we're requiring face masks, except for you and I while we're doing this.
We're doing this, yeah.
Yeah.
Or while we're up at the bar occasionally, but that's another.
That's a whole nother story. We aren't even going to go there. Okay. No, when I talk to our members, they are so excited to be together. They're so excited to share. They're so excited. Oh my God, we're coming out of this. So it's, I couldn't be happier.
It's sort of cathartic after all this thing we've all been through, and here we are back. It's almost 20 months, I think they've said.
Yes, it is. Think about it. It's March of 2019, and who knew what was going to happen? Who knew how? Actually, we were sitting around a table saying, how long are the ships going to be out of the water? And no one predicted past, I think, August or September of 19.
Yeah,
okay.
No, we didn't think so.
Shows you how good of prognosticators we are.
Well, we've never dealt with pandemics before, not like this one. But what's your sense from the members here? What's the health of your network now in terms of, did you lose many people? Have you gained many people? What's going on?
It's surprising. When we first got into this, no business can survive without cash flow. No business can survive.
Apparently we can. I don't know how that
Well, I tell you what, we all need to thank our entire industry for rallying around a couple things. One, everyone talked about, we need to right-size our business. And we had our first town hall call with our members in March of 19 saying, this is bad, folks. This is real bad.
So March of 20, I think you meant it.
March of 20.
There we go, March of 20.
Thank you.
We forget this. We forget this year. I mean, it's amazing. We don't want to remember. So March of 20, you had the town hall.
We want to blow up that anyway. So we were talking about, this is really bad. You need to really look at every item of expense you have. Cash is king, and we stress that. If you have expenses, you've got to look. Do you really need them? Whether it's staffing, do you need? Can you put them on furloughs? What can you do? And then the whole industry got around the PPP program and the other government aids, and I think I can speak for most people. Without those two programs, 60, 70, 80% of the industry probably would have disappeared.
That's certainly what ASTA was saying at the time, and in fact, they're still trying to get that last bit of gap to bridge us to the end. Because while sales are really looking great from all I've heard, we still haven't got that cash yet, at least in some cases, right?
That's exactly right, James, and it is cash that you need to run a business. You still have to pay the rent, you have to pay the electric bill, you definitely have to pay your employees, and without cash, you have to close the doors.
And that's it. So what's your sense of how many did close their doors?
Actually, in our system, we probably lost less than 5%, and most of those were consolidation with other agencies, other members. You and I know each other, you're not doing well, and so we come into some type of arrangement. But we've been adding...
That's what I was going to ask. I mean, my understanding is a lot of people have entered the profession, right?
Well, we've got a lot of new members, but more importantly, we have a lot of agencies who have looked at their consortium relationship and said, I need this, this, and this to survive the future. And they've been joining Travel Leaders, and not as many as we had in 19, but we're close to 80% of the numbers that we recruited in 19. And we have some larger agencies that have joined us, both in Canada and the United States.
That's great.
So we're very pleased with where we are.
Now, so you talked about some of the programs you've interested. Here you've been highlighting a few things but talk about some of the things you've done over the past year to improve your service delivery to your members.
Well, when you think about it, what does an agency need? They have excellent staff, but you continually need to refine your skills.
Right.
And let's face it, consumers today are looking for expertise. They're looking for specialists. They're looking for knowledge. Mm-hmm. We have been promoting our specialist programs we have 6 programs, just overall leisure, but also in groups, honeymoon.
Yeah, they just had the graduation ceremony.
Yes, and luxury, active and adventure. And what we're trying to do is help our advisors increase their expertise, increase their selling skills, increase their knowledge, so they can be more competitive in the marketplace. But the thing that really advisors want, whether you're an independent contractor, whether you're an employee, whether you're an agency owner, is how can I acquire more and more profitable customers?
Right.
And we have a program called Agent Profiler. We've had it for years.
Oh, you have had it for a while, but you've improved it, right?
We continue to improve it. We continue to say, what does a customer look for? What are the keywords they're searching for? How can we get those leads to our advisors? And we are almost up to where we were in 2019 in terms of number of leads. A lot of us are predicting by the end of the year we'll actually exceed that. And when you consider where the first 6 months of 2021 has been, how many ships were sailing? A lot of people were saying, can we really travel? Has Europe closed? Is Asia closed? Is Africa closed? So when we look at that number of inquiries to our system, it's really great. And our system sends the lead to you, the advisor. And you are the call to action, which is what's critical to the customer. They want to know it's James, and James's background is this, and I can build a relationship with James. Mm-hmm. So everything is now pointed towards James, not the name of the agency, not Travel Leaders Network. Mm-hmm. It's James Schoenlaw. You are our expert.
And that's it. Yeah, it's individuals, and that's the person you're going to be dealing with. So I noticed that you've made those. They seem slight changes, but they are pretty major when you get down to it.
I think they're going to be extremely critical to the end consumer. And that's really what we're looking at. What does the customer want? It's not what I want or what our advisors want. What does the guy who's paying the bill, what do they want?
I know, and so, but beyond that, and you have Agent Profiler, but the other agency groups, like Global Travel Alliance. Am I got that right?
Yes.
Global Travel. That's your sort of luxury, which is not part of Travel Leaders Network, but you're all leveraging the Internova, your parent company.
Leveraging the same technology.
Right. So you got the technology, but you also have things like your Select Hotel program.
Yes.
You have your engagement program where Steve McGilvery, has been developing that for years, and everything is you're adding stuff.
Right? Decades.
It was. Well, you and I were around when we first introduced this, right?
Yeah. We continue to refine. We continue to research. We continue, like on our email campaigns, and he was talking about this during the general session. What we look at is what's the open rate. And so we do testing. We don't send out a big blast email. We send out a small portion, look at the open rates, look at the click-through rates, which one, which heading, which type of language has the best return, and then that's what we. But we're constantly doing that, and it constantly changes. What worked 2 years ago doesn't work in today's world. So our marketing team just does an outstanding job trying to refine it for the benefit of our advisors. We don't want to send out millions and millions of email if they don't work. Why do we want to bombard your customers?
And you want to make sure you're sending emails that are going to resonate with the customers, right?
That are relevant to the customer etc.
So that's engagement. You got the Select Hotel program, which actually, you had Albert Herrera, who's come on board and is running that program now, who kind of knows a little bit about hotels and destinations. And he's also doing all of your in-country specialists. So you're all of your members now have access to all these wonderful products, right?
Absolutely, and they're really buying into it. Select Hotel offers, when we look at, for example, the number of Four Seasons, we have more Four Seasons in our portfolio than any other group. Yeah. So a lot of people don't think of Travel Leaders as the luxury brand, but when I look at our sales and I talk to the people at the various luxury lines,
and you're getting your sales, right?
Oh, trust me, we're as larger than anybody.
Your affiliate organization is a Global Travel Collection, not Alliance. Sorry about that. I'm getting used to these. You're getting used to these new names. Internova was also created during this period, so that now you are Travel Leaders Network, and above you have Travel Leaders Group, right?
Correct. Yeah, Travel Leaders Group is headed up by John Lovell. He's the president of the group. And it really is Travel Leaders Network plus our wholly owned retail travel agencies, many of which are operating under the Travel Leaders brand, but we have some that don't because of their specialty. For example, Cruise Specialists out of Seattle. Right. They are a cruise-only agency, and so it doesn't apply as much, but they all fall within the Travel Leaders Group brand. So we're all working together.
Yeah, and that's great. You have this incredible organization that can leverage the strengths, and this Nexion as a host agency we're going to talk about, which is a member of Travel Leaders Network. Now let's close on a really bright note. What are your members seeing, and what are you seeing in terms of sales for cruises, tours, hotels for 2022?
Okay, here's the caveat. Are the cruise lines going to launch the ships in the schedule they say they are? Right. Assuming the pandemic does not rear its ugly head again, which we all have to put that caveat out there, 22 could be just an absolutely banner year. Right. Yields, whether it's land or sea, are high. Consumer demand, we did a poll of our top 200 agencies. Demand both in the United States and Canada is off the charts. Right. Consumers want to travel, but there's that little hidden thing that says, I want to travel safely.
Sure, and they've addressed this. They have programs and everything else. And I often tell people who are a little hesitant to cruise that actually cruising is probably the safest place you can be right now. Almost everybody's vaccinated. They demand it, and then everybody has taken a test, maybe twice. The crew has taken a test every week. What more do you? Does it happen?
People wear face masks.
People wear face masks, and for the most part, until they get in the bubble. And it's one of these things where it really. There's this perception and reality thing of what cruising is, and yes, at the very beginning there were some incidents, and that really led people not to go, especially those who hadn't really experienced a cruise before, right?
Right, but when you hear the stats from companies and how many people have come down with COVID, it's very, very small, and we all know that. But the thing is, some consumers still have a fear. So if we look at what's on the books, we look at what demand is, 22 and 23 ought to be absolutely fantastic. Again, we're dealing with fears, which sometimes are not rational. Right. We're dealing with, will the cruise lines actually launch product as we think they're going to? Mm-hmm. If all of this comes to pass, 22 and 23 are going to be fantastic years, and thank goodness.
Well, that's an encouraging message, Roger. I think we all appreciate that. I think we've finally, we're on the upswing now. Things are, we did have that little blip with the Delta D or whatever, the variant, the Delta variant, I should say. And now, we seem to be going full steam ahead. So I'm really encouraged. And the fact that we're here in Orlando, face to face, 2 years after we should have been, but that's another story. This is just great news, and the fact you're having this conference and other groups are starting to have their conferences is just really good news for the travel agency business. So congratulations on this one. I hope to be here next year somewhere, wherever you're going next, and we'll do it again.
Thanks, James. It's always a pleasure to be with you.
Always a pleasure to see you, Roger. And we'll do this again next year. Look for us next year. But I think I'll probably see Roger a few times before then.
I hope so.
I hope so, too. I'm James Shillinglaw for Insider Travel Report.